The Meal Preparation Project by Marcus Reed. Hello, everyone. My name is Marcus Reed. I am a senior at Miami University with a degree in small business management. I am excited to be taking this capstone with you all. And one of the projects, part of the capstone, is the Meal Preparation Project. I'm going to give you a quick overview of what it entails and the findings of my results. Basically, the overview was to choose your favorite meal, which mine is grilled chicken, loaded baked potato, salad, a sweet tea, and bread. And then to identify 2 local restaurants and the necessary ingredients to cook that same meal at home. Afterwards, you need to create a report outlining the differences in cost, time, quality, and decide which option, or as we're going to learn, outsourcing versus insourcing, was verified by the data. Afterwards, you will learn and present the information on insourcing versus outsourcing theory and share the presentation with the CMR 495 class. Jumping right into the details, eating out. First, I'm going to identify the choice and also the reasoning. So Texas Roadhouse is the preferred choice because of the lowest total cost at $34.75 and the lowest time value of 21.7% of my available time, coupled with the quality of food. I chose to eat at Texas Roadhouse and Longhorn Steakhouse because they both provide the grilled chicken, loaded baked potato, salad, bread, and sweet tea, and I was able to compare that with an in-home cost. So for Texas Roadhouse, the total cost, including the meal, tax, tip, and also calculated time, was $34.75. The food cost was individually $15.79, and the time percentage was 21.7% of the 9 available calculated hours. Longhorn Steakhouse, in contrast, had a total cost of $52.29. The food individually cost $22.21 and accounted for 28.1% of my 9 available hours. Moving on to home preparation, I chose to use the store Kroger because of the fact that they provide you with Kroger points. The total cost was calculated per serving of ingredient. Originally, it was using the cost of each ingredient, but dividing the ingredient cost by the number of servings would yield the cost per serving. So the total cost was $58.54. The food cost was only $6.90, while the time cost accounted of 33.3% of my 9 available hours, or 3 out of the 9 available hours I have in a given week. And to compare the internal versus external costs, as outlined before, Texas Roadhouse had $15.79 for food cost, but only a total cost of $34.75. The lowest was Kroger with $6.90, but it also had the highest total cost of $58.54. In terms of calculating both the available funds that I had and the value of my time, I used $100, which I allocate every week towards my food, and that gave a proportion of the cost of the food for the week. So Texas Roadhouse accounted for 15.79% of my available budget for food. Kroger accounted for 6.9%, and Longhorn accounted for 22.21% of the available budget. In terms of calculating available hours in a week, there are 668 hours in a week, and I took off work and school and exercise and a myriad of other things outlined in my report, and eventually came to an available 9 free hours of the week. based on the total tonnage of time spent downtime at the restaurant or meal prep and cleanup consisted of 1.96 hours, 2.53 hours for Longhorn, and 3 hours for Kroger, which Texas Roadhouse accounted for 21.7% of the available time that I had, and also Kroger accounted for 33.3% of the available time I had in a week. So why is this important? This indicates that Texas Roadhouse, while accounting for 15.79% of my budget, also gave me a greater amount of time at 21%, 21.7%. Therefore, choosing Texas Roadhouse to be the better option because of the quality of food and also time being more valuable to me than money. Time as a whole indicated for the total cost was calculated using a quiz called ClearThink and also some personal calculations of my own. According to the quiz and my personal calculations, my time is valued at $19.62 per hour based on my annual income, as well as the value I place on time, the value I place on money. So $19.62 was accounted for in the total cost of Texas Roadhouse, Longhorn Steakhouse, and Kroger. Outsourcing versus insourcing theory. Basically applying the information we've just learned to a theoretical standpoint of outsourcing versus insourcing. Outsourcing as a whole uses outside resources to accomplish a specific goal or task. Insourcing is using resources available within the department or company to accomplish a certain goal or task. The results of the project indicate outsourcing as the greatest alternative. Research also verifies the decision of outsourcing as a better venue for businesses. Majority of the research that I found indicated outsourcing as a better opportunity because of expedient results, less allocation of resources and time, and also verifying that Texas Roadhouse costs an average total cost of around $34 and accounted for less of my time as opposed to cooking at home or Longhorn Steakhouse. Through the research that I conducted, the question of which is better, outsourcing versus insourcing, was an interesting question to answer and one that I still am working on to answer. Outsourcing as a whole is better for businesses, mostly because of the allocation resources is cost effective, and it gives the opportunity for the business to use the necessary funds otherwise. As strategic managers, it's important we understand how each of these, outsourcing and insourcing, affect the organization and the employees as a whole. But also, I was reading, insourcing is becoming a unique trend in the fact that knowledge is becoming more readily available and cheaper to access. Whereas a company would not have the knowledge of creating a product or service, now we have that opportunity. So I use the insourcing theory towards my personal project, the meal preparation project. If I had taken the time to learn to cook correctly and to use the necessary technologies to make grocery shopping faster, such as the Kroger Quick List, then perhaps insourcing would have been a better option. But because outsourcing is faster and insourcing is more of an investment of long-term resources, this is a question that we need to answer and ask ourselves as strategic managers if we want outsourcing, which gives you the opportunity to use outside resources and accomplish projects faster, or if we want to use insourcing, which means investing in our employees, investing in ourselves to create that opportunity for our employees and ourselves to be a better organization as a whole, to create better long-term effects within the organization, and also to increase the talent pool of your employees. So in conclusion, Texas Roadhouse is the preferred choice because of the lowest total cost at $34.75 and the lowest time value of 21.7% of my available time, coupled with the quality of food. Overall, I've learned a lot about insourcing and outsourcing, the differences needed between them, and also understanding why each is important. Also, I have learned the importance of data and understanding how a knowledgeable decision is more important. Therefore, I came to the conclusion that outsourcing to Texas Roadhouse is a wiser decision for me in terms of time, uh, resources, and also quality of food. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to this presentation. I hope it served you well and that you learned a little bit more about insourcing and outsourcing. And thank you for your time.